Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new locals feature match. Here we are in round 3 for the week. We've got VW on the left versus Heroes on the right. A deck I don't think we've had on the channel in a very, very long time. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this one plays out, especially since the deck has gotten possibly one of the best hero fusions ever printed. I'm sure it's everybody's favorite card to deal with this format. Good old DPE. So yeah, let's see how this one goes. And looking at the poll results right now, it's very, very early on in the results as I'm recording this, but it looks like VW taking a slight lead in the poll. Not super surprising to see that. So let's see if you guys are correct in voting for VW. We're going to see VW win die roll, go first, lead with the King Long into GG, dumping Lulu, and then immediately going to end phase to add back Lulu. Not a terrible, he could have just literally passed because he opened unplayable, but, at least here, he does have follow-up. So, obviously, not a good opening whatsoever, but, like I said, it could be worse. But we're going to see our hero player lead with Ferris, pitching Mally, and then equipping with the increase. We're going to see a Lancia chain in response that will shut down, I want to say, the Mally, the Miracle Fusion, and I'm really not sure what else Lancia stops within this deck. I'm not super familiar with current heroes, but I think right now, this turn anyways, it's going to shut down those cards. We're going to see him spec out a Vion, and we're going to see Vion resolve here. Going to go ahead and search a Honest Neos, and it looks like I see a copy of Fusion Destiny in hand, which is not surprising to see this deck on Fusion Destiny. So we'll go ahead and activate it, pitching another Mally from hand. Okay, that's fair. If you open one Mally, if you open both Mallies here, right, you're not going to get access to the special summon effect anyways, which is actually kind of like a negative for our VW player, because that Lancia would have been good to stop the Mally, but our hero player literally can't even use Mally anyways if he wanted to. So he's just going to spec out the DPE, not using Celestial and Dasher, but using a copy of Mally and a copy of Denier. And here it looks like we're going to see him go into the battle phase and swing the Enforcer into the GG, and then Vion increase in directly for 1900 damage. And then it looks like we're going to see DPE destroy itself and King Long. Yeah, I guess that's fine. If you leave the King Long on field anyways, it just kind of acts as like a breakthrough skill on the next turn. But if you put it in the graveyard, it's also going to be follow-up too. And we're going to see our hero player continue to extend normal summoning Stratos, because he is yet to normal summon. That is going to add the Adusted Gold, and he's going to discard the Adusted Gold to go ahead and add the Dark Calling. So I imagine we'll see Malicious Bane here momentarily. So ending on Bane and then having the DPE in the standby phase doesn't seem so bad. But we're going to see him actually link off the Vion and increase here for the extra hero Cross Crusader. And then we're going to see him activate Destiny Hero Denier, which says if you have a Destiny Hero monster on your field or in your graveyard other than Denier, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. You can only use this effect of Denier once per duel. So we're going to see him spec out the Denier, and then use Cross Crusader's effect, which goes ahead and tributes that off, to go ahead and add a hero monster with a different name from his deck to his hand. So he's going to go ahead and add another Vion. And I'm going to have to look up some of these cards here, because it's been such a long time since I've done any commentaries over a hero deck. But we're going to see him link off the Stratos and the Cross Crusader into a copy of Dread Decimator. And that's actually going to do it for his turn. I was expecting a Malicious Bane to come down, because he added the Dark Calling, but there may be some reason he didn't go for it there. Again, I'm not a hero player. I'm sure somebody's going to tell me, like, oh, he couldn't do it because this, that, or the other thing. But we're going to see him pass turn there. Standby phase, obviously, DPE will come back. And our VW player has another King Long, so he can go ahead and turn off this DPE here, or at least force it out with its on-field negation effect. So we're going to see him banish GG. He's going to attempt to negate the King Long, or attempt to negate the DPE. And then we're going to see DPE Chain and Response destroying itself and Kinglong. And then we're going to see a copy of Emergency Teleport here activate to go ahead and special summon out probably a Nian. We know he has Lulu in hand. And it looks like I want to say another copy of Lancia in hand, which would explain the poor opening he had in the previous turn. We're going to see him use Lulu, target Nian, and go ahead and add the Kowloon. And we're going to see him send a trap here, probably going to be Chuche. And I mean, at this point, he still doesn't have that much going here. Unless that card, I think, is Lancia in his hand is another name. And he also does have Kinglong engraved, so that can get him another name too. So, should have access to a pretty good end board here. Pretty good combo line. Probably just taking a moment to think about what exactly to do. Could probably go grab Kieran off of this Kinglong and continue to extend. So yeah, it looks like we're going to see him actually Synchro 6 for Charge Warrior. And Charge Warrior will go ahead and draw 1. And he has a Desires in hand as well, so we're going to see him fire off the Desires. I see he banished. I want to say I saw 2 other Desires in there, so that's pretty good. Draws into Talents, which is going to be live 100% here. So draw 2 into draw 2. Gotta love to see that. Of course, he could go for the hand rip, but I believe he knows a good majority of the cards in his opponent's hand right now. I want to say we know Vion, and we know Honest Neos as well, and Dark Calling. So we might even just know the entire hand of the hero player at this point. So using the talents to look at the hand is just rather pointless. So we're going to see him activate Kowloon, playing another Chuche. Bold that he didn't Kowloon first to get Chuche out of the deck, because that Desires could have easily screwed him over. So I was a little surprised I didn't see him go for the Desires or the Kowloon first, then the Desires. But we're going to see him activate Lau Lau here. And then Lau Lau is going to target Chuche, and then it's going to dump Kieran. And then we're going to see him revive the... Looking at reviving the Nian here, but I was going to say you could easily revive like the Lulu. And then Nian could bring itself back there. But then he has 2 tuners on field. I mean, that could get him into like a Shen Shen. And also a Vermilion mech. Or it could also get him into an M7 play plus a level 9 synchro. Because he could bring back the Lulu too, and then Chuche engraved to up the levels of one of the ones of the like the Nian or the Lulu. But he'll have like I want to say too many tuners there if he does that. So he's just gonna go ahead and bring Nian back off of the Lau Lau, not using Lulu to bring it back, and then bring back Nian with its graveyard effect. Gonna go into the M7, detaching Lau Lau to add back the Kieran engrave. And then I believe we'll also have access to Kieran now. Yeah, since he dumped it off, the Lau Lau can go ahead and activate that now. That could go ahead and get the Shenwu in play. Since Nian is still on the field as a non-tuner. Yep, so he's going to go ahead and send the Shenwu as expected. And opting not to send another card. And plenty of discard fodder at this point, thanks to Desires. And we know he still has the Talents that's live. So we're going to go ahead and see him Synchro 9, which I don't think he could have done that there, because that Nian, I think, was brought off of Lau Lau. Unless I'm missing something, I don't think he could have done that. He would have had to have used the Shenwu engrave to bring back the Lulu that's in the graveyard. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe that Nian was a non-tuner there, since it was brought back off of Lau Lau. Now, to be totally honest, I don't think it's going to make too big of a difference here, because he still had a way to play regardless with Shenwu being engraved. And we're also going to see a triple T here. And this is not looking too hot. It's going to be game regardless. So we're going to see VW take game 1 there. A minor misplay with the 2 non-tuners into the Shen Shen, but it is what it is. It happens. We are into a game 2 situation. As always, I'd like to mention a quick shout out to Imperium Duelist. If you guys are interested in picking up amazing playmats, sleeves, deck boxes, and binders, check them out at the link below. And don't forget to use my discount code WinterKill off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order and support the channel in the process. They actually just came out with a brand new rubber mat themed after their classic Millennium. designs they've done in the past using the Millennium items. It's themed after the Millennium Rod, and it has a beautiful holographic sort of design to it. Never seen that before on a rubber playmat, so if you guys are interested in picking one up, definitely check it out. And of course, if you guys are buying anything on TCG Player, please do not forget to use my affiliate link found in the description below, because anytime you guys shop and check out using that link, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase goes right back in the channel and helps out a ton. So we're going to go ahead and see our VW player lead with the Kowloon into Chuche and then into the Kirin, which is going to dump King Long and Nian. Desires will not resolve here thanks to Ash Blossom, but we're going to see him get to Lulu anyways with the King Long ditching a E-Telly. And then we're going to see him resolve the Lulu here, and pretty much at this point, if his opponent has no other hand traps, which it doesn't look like he does, he's going to go ahead and be able to put up a semi-decent board here, dumping another King Long as follow-up. So we can go ahead and add a trap here or a monster, depending on what he targeted. I'm assuming he targeted Chuche there. That way you could add a monster and have it be as an extender. Could go for Lao Lao right now, which I don't think does too much. I think maybe going for GG might be a little bit better. It's hard for me to kind of predict what VW is going to do, because I know what the cards do, but I don't know the most optimal lines here. But it looks like he is going to go ahead and add GG, which makes the most sense, at least in my opinion anyways. And then we're going to see him Synchro 9 into Shen Shen. And then that will give him ample, an ample target to be able to use with the GG, dumping Shenwu. And then we're going to see N-Phase, or not N-Phase, we're going to see Nian bring itself back, rather, on the summon of GG. That'll come back as a level 3 tuner, allowing him to Synchro 6 into Charge Warrior. And we're going to see it use Nian's effect here to go ahead and recycle a banished card. Go ahead and put that back into the deck. And also has Shenwu right now to complete either a rank 6, as he draws into another card there. Looked like it might have been a hand trap, which if it's Nibiru, I mean, we all know how Hero fares against Nibiru. So we're going to see, yep, it was Nibiru. Okay. Deciding to discard it here regardless, though. And then we're going to see him, as expected, bring back the Kirin to go for an M7 play, and he's just going to add the Nibiru right back. Okay. That was actually a really cool play line right there, I'm not going to lie. So Shen Shen, Chuche is more than live, and a Nibiru in hand. And then N-Phase, GG adding back the Lulu. So, I mean, our hero player has evenly matched in hand, which is pretty good here. I mean, he's still going to probably keep, probably keep the Shen Shen. I mean, hard to tell, unless he has another Lancey in hand. I mean, if he's got Lancey in hand at this point, he's just too good. But looks like he is going to get rid of the M7. This evenly is going to resolve here. And if that other card in our VW player's hand is a Droll and Lock, this is going to be really, really good. But looks like we're going to just see him chain the Chuche here to destroy Shen Shen, so that does not get banished. And then he'll also get to keep the Chuche here. Because otherwise, if he didn't do that, he would have to have banished the Shen Shen or banished the Chuche, which is not something you want to do. You definitely don't want to let your Shen Shen go like that, and you definitely don't want to get your Chuche banished like that, because it's like a way to play next turn, because you need something to target with that Lulu, obviously, that added back. But unfortunately, our hero player did not open up well here, unfortunately, here in game 2. Being forced to pass after just resolving evenly. Then we're going to see King Long here to start off our VW player's turn. And then we'll see him search one, pitching the Shenwu. Yeah, he did have Droll and Nib in hand anyway, so I don't, even if he opened well, I don't think he was playing through that that 2-card combo regardless. I mean, you could say, oh, maybe there was a chance for an OTK, but not with evenly, so since the battle phase had to be exhausted, we're going to see him dump the King Long off of the Lulu, and that's going to add a Lily effect, targeting the Lulu, dumping another Chuche here to get that level manipulation. And then we're going to go ahead and see him actually go at Synchro 9 for the Vermilion mech. And this could actually go ahead and clear this back row here, suss it out. And wouldn't be shocked if he went and did that. But it looks like it is going to force an Imperm, though. I'm curious if he did that just like on summon, or if he... So I don't know if Vermilion Mech banishes for cost, but he's got the Laulau here. Laulo's going to dump the Nian. Could bring back Shen Shen here with the Laulau, I believe, which is pretty strong. Not that he needs to because of Shen Shen's graveyard effect anyways, but we're going to see him bring back the Lily, or the Lily. Could have access to not another M7, but he does play Utopia Beyond, which is just a 3k beater at this point. Could also go for Zolkin here too if he does have the card to set. And that could bring out a Crystal Wing, which could potentially help him play through any hand traps his opponent may have here. Of course, we know he doesn't have any. I see 2 copies of Mass Change in hand and 1 other monster, which definitely isn't a Nibiru. So it's probably just a matter of time to how he closes out game here. Because, like, I mean, I don't think our VW player has a card to set right now. But looks like he's just going to bring back Shen Shen. And he'll recycle 1 off the Nian, which is going to be M7. And that's going to allow him to go ahead and overlay back for the M7. This is like one of the cool things I love about VW is like with cards like Nian, like you can like just put back so many cards you wouldn't be able to get back otherwise. It's really, really cool. And of course, that is just going to be game there regardless. So VW taking a swift 2-0. You hate to see it, but I think it was kind of expected there. So yeah, if you guys want to see more of my content, click on one of the videos popping up at the bottom of the screen right now. And last but not least, a special shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members, and they're Cadillacs84, Pony Stark, Keith Sitters, Tweeter0226, and Black Ninja Money. Thank you guys so much as always for your extremely generous support.